Very good morning to everyone. Thank you for joining this session. I would like to thank Dr. Mrudula ma'am for giving us an opportunity to present this orientation on Mathematica. So myself, Pradeep, I am pre-sales engineer from GT Enterprises, Bangalore. So today I'll be talking about Mathematica, how it is used for research and education. So here is the agenda. I'll be introducing our company and I'll be talking about Wolfram research. Then we'll see what is Wolfram language, and later on we will dive into Mathematica. So I'll introduce you with Mathematica with what are the key capabilities, application areas, advanced topics, what are the programming paradigms, and later on I'll talk about different Wolfram technology stacks or products which are available. So let's begin. Uh, we are GT Enterprises. We are a 27 years old company. We have been supporting major institutes and industries in India with softwares. So we are authorized partner to Wolfram Research, USA, and our territories are Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Goa, Pondicherry, and Sri Lanka. So our main business is open source software, uh, other technologies like virtualization, storage, cloud computing, big data, HPC, testing tools, development tools, and many more. So Wolfram Research USA, so it was founded by Dr. Stephen Wolfram in 1987. Dr. Stephen is a famous physicist, and Wolfram Research is one of the world's most respected computer, web, and cloud software companies. They develop computational softwares such as Mathematica, Mathematica Online, Wolfram Alpha, and also they have many technical services which are available to the customers. So Wolfram is pioneer in computation and computational knowledge. So Mathematica is one of their flagship product, and so other products I'll discuss in the later slides. So how did Wolfram technology started coming to the globe? So here is the evolution. Firstly, Mathematica was introduced. The first version of Mathematica came in 1988. So here you can see Mathematica that time supported all these engineering branches such as mathematics, computer science, physics, social, life science, businesses, finance. And later, Wolfram came up with a new technology called Wolfram Alpha. Wolfram Alpha is nothing but a knowledge base engine where trillions of data are stored on the Wolfram cloud, and this can be accessed using Wolfram Alpha. So Wolfram Alpha is integrated with Mathematica, and you can see a lot more users from other platforms were able to use, start using these technologies. So you can see people from art and music, life science, political science, linguistics, people from medical background, people from nutrition background. So everyone can use this technology for computation. So later came the online version of Mathematica. So Mathematica Online is a standalone product where you can compute on the Wolfram cloud. So if you have a browser, you can start using Mathematica. So there is no need of installation of Mathematica on your system. So I'll deeply explain about it in the latest slide. So let's see what is Wolfram language. So Wolfram language is a knowledge-based language, and it has the largest scope of any language. So Wolfram language is common for all the Wolfram products what we work with. It is a unified language which is applicable for all the Wolfram products. So Wolfram language is a symbolic language, and it is very easy to read, run, and write. So it is a very plain, simple English-like language, which any new user who is new to Wolfram technology, so they can start using these products without any hesitation. And this language is 10 times faster in development compared to other programming languages used in the globe. And this Wolfram language was specifically developed in Mathematica. Wolfram language was established 30 years ago. It's almost a 3 decade now. And Wolfram has maintained this long-term consistency and vision. This using Wolfram language, we can automate applications using meta algorithms and super functions which are available. And this language is integrated. I mean, you can maximize the coherence of the design. So hybrid environment. In Wolfram language, everything is an expression. So everything represented in Mathematica, like data, formulas, codes, graphics, documents. So everything is a symbolic expression. So this provides a hybrid environment. And also you can deploy your applications developed using Wolfram language on the desktop, cloud, mobile, and embedded devices, and like IoT devices. And we have built-in knowledge which is accessible through Wolfram language. Okay. So what is Mathematica? So you can see in the slide, these are all the features of Mathematica, unique features of Mathematica. So as I said, Wolfram language is used for programming in Mathematica. So Mathematica has the largest web of mathematical capabilities and algorithms. It has the largest collection of algorithms, built-in algorithms, which are available to the users. And also a ton of data resources in large volumes can be accessed in different formats through Mathematica using Wolfram Alpha. And this your Mathematica applications can be interfaced and deployed on different devices. And I'll talk about the dynamic interactivity visualization and about the Mathematica notebooks in the coming slides. So Mathematica supports Wolfram language. In additional, it also supports freeform input. What is freeform input? So here you can see I'm just saying plot sine of x. So let me quickly open a notebook of Mathematica. Just give me 1 second here. Let me maximize the screen. Okay. So this is a Mathematica notebook. It has an extension .p. So this notebook is divided into different cells. So you can see a horizontal line here. So this is a cell in Mathematica notebook. If you click on this plus sign, you can see the various forms of inputs which can be given to Mathematica notebook. So this is default Wolfram language, which I told about. And this is a free form input. So you can just say is equal to, and just say plot sine of x from x is equal to 1 to x is equal to 10. You can see I'm just using a plain English here to plot a sine function. So this is equal to represents a free form input. So you can just use simple English and you can do, you can plot anything, do other function calls. So you can see a nice representation of sine graph here. So how did this freeform input got evaluated? So when we say plot sine of x from x is equal to 1 to 10, so this query is passed to the Wolfram cloud, and this is processed, and we get the graph. This for working with freeform input and Wolfram alpha, we need to be connected to the web. Go back to the presentation. So suggestion bar. So in the notebook, we have a suggestion bar. So which you're seeing here. So using this, you can customize your uh, outputs. Like you can label your different axes and vertices, and you can even change the colors of your axes, and you can even change the background of your graphs. And also you have an option to send a feedback about this expression to the Wolfram community. Yes. So whenever we program with Mathematica, there are mainly 3 rules which need to follow. Firstly, Every function in Mathematica is capitalized, the first letter. So you can see here, this function plot starts with a capital letter P. In that way, Mathematica recognizes it is a built-in function. And all the arguments are given in a square brackets. So here you can see we are plotting cos of x and everything is given inside the square brackets. And we use the parenthesis to denote if there is any lists or ranges which we need to give. So I'll just execute it here. We are seeing a graph. In order to evaluate this expression, we need to press shift enter. So that's how you evaluate in Mathematica. If you just say enter, I'll just try pressing enter. No, it won't give you any output. So you need to do shift enter. That's how you evaluate in Mathematica. Also, we have an input assistant. Input assistant is if you say plot, we have a collection of built-in functions which starts with the letter plot. So you can see plot 3D, plot range, plot style. So this is the input assistant available to the user. And point and click palettes. We have different palettes. For example, you can see mathematic assistant. Here you have all the basic mathematic entities, and we have advanced uh, terms here. So we have basic commands. So you can all use all these built-in terminology, and you can bring it to your notebook with just a click on this assistant. Check this. All right. So let's move on. So here you are seeing a mathematical notebook interface. So this is a mathematical notebook, and this notebook is divided into different cells, as I said, and these cells are visible to you if you go to the right end of the notebook. So these are the cells representing each expression. So what you can do here using these cells, you're able to open and show the section of this content. So if you want to just minimize this whole expression, you can just double click on it, and it minimizes. So you can also use this notebook for writing text. You can use it for graphics. You can use Wolfram language for programming. You can run your code here. You can embed and do interactivity. And you can also use the same notebook for presentation, demonstrations, drawings, you generate automatic reports, and you can also make this notebook interactive. You're doing everything in one platform instead of contributing your time for making documentation presentations in other softwares. So everything altogether can be done in one single software, which is Mathematica. Okay. So you may ask, what is there in Mathematica? What is included in Mathematica? Mathematica base product has, it is a one single integrated package. It has all the the modules which are daily or highly used by the users in academic and research. So for example, you can see here all the modules like numerical completion, symbolic completion, parallel programming, graph theory, finance, wavelets, time series, so all and many more. All these modules are readily available in Mathematica, and so Mathematica is a one-time single purchase, and you no need of going for any additional packages or toolboxes or any additional softwares to search any additional functionality within Mathematica. Everything is readily available to the user in Mathematica. You can use any of these modules and you can program. Okay. One of the main highlights or the power of Mathematica is dynamic interactivity. So here you're seeing a set of examples in everyday tasks and modeling or a simulation. So I'm just showing you here a visualization of a cylinder in an automotive. So everything is designed here using Mathematica. So the number of cylinders and so I'll just say I'll choose 3 cylinders here, and I'll start the interactivity. So you can see a beautiful representation of the 3 cylinder engine being visualized here. Also, I'll just show you one more example here. So this is a predator-prey model between a fox and a rabbit. So I'll just run the simulation, and you can see by setting all these values how these predators interact uh, going forward with the given parameters. This is the representation. Also, you can. This is a one more example where you see two charges Q1 and Q2. If I vary the strength or the amplitude of these charges, how these two charges react with each other. So this is a very powerful feature of Mathematica for dynamic interactivity. So how this is achieved? It is no magic, right? So you need to program something to achieve these dynamic visualizations. So let's see how we do it. So I'll just quickly go to a notebook. Let's say plot sin of x ranging from -6 to 6. You need to follow all the rules which I told you earlier. I say shift enter. Okay, I forgot to say yes. So we are seeing a static sine graph, and how do we make this graph interactive and dynamic? There is a powerful function called manipulate in Mathematica. So I'll just take this plot function, put it in manipulate, and so how do I make this graph dynamic? So I'll try to change the frequency of this uh, graph, and I'll say uh, frequency ranging from 1 to 6. So here I say frequency x. So a space between two uh, arguments is by default it is a multiplication in Mathematica. Also you can say star, nothing wrong in it, but by default a space between two arguments it is a multiplication by default. You can see a static graph again here, but you can see a slider with argument frequency is available here. So what happens when you use this slider? There you go. So now I'm varying the frequency here from range 1 to 6, and you can see a beautiful a dynamic graph which is being changed, and it's very interactive. Let's do some more customizations here. So I'll just take this function again. I'll try to add amplitude here, giving the space here, and I say we have a built-in function called plot range. I'm setting the range to 5 and amplitude ranging from 1 to 5. You can see here, along with frequency, you are now being able to add amplitude into your output. So very interactive. Okay, let's do some more customizations. Let's see what all we can do with the same graph. So why built-in function? Why sign? I'll take my own function. I'll say my fun, and I'll just go to the end here. Sorry. Just add my function here, my fun. I'll give, I will plot sine function, cos function, and tan function. I'm giving my own function here. I believe I'm missing the braces here. Give me 1 second here.
In
Okay.
plot range also, should you change it to my function?
Sorry, ma'am.
Plot range you have mentioned, no? There also, do you have to give it as my function? No.
No, 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 no. I missed the amplitude, range of the amplitude. There is some error coming up. Let me quickly check once again. So I'm missing something here. Frequency, plot range, frequency, amplitude. Okay, let me come back to it later. So let's just uh, continue with that. So I'll just take this again, same function, manipulate function again. So you can do a lot of customizations here. For example, you can change the plot style. Yes, plot style. I'll say color, and you can give whichever color you want here. Say red. So now you're able to change the color of your graph, and you can also select any color from this variant. Now, what we can do is you can use this same notebook, say just say example, and go to the next cell. If you click on this notebook anywhere, you create a new cell. I'll say illustration of manipulate function. What I'm doing here is I'm using the same notebook to document it, and you can share this notebook with your colleagues or your friends or your team, and they would be able to uh, see this notebook and in a dynamic way, and they can interact with this notebook, but they won't be able to edit the code. So how do you share it with your team? So we can save this notebook in the format. So there are a lot of formats available which you can save your notebook in. So we save it in the format compatible document. So using this .cdf file, you can share it with your team, and they can use this CDF file to visualize this notebook, but they won't be able to edit it. So this .cdf file can be run using a freeware from Wolfram called Wolfram Player, and you can also use open this .cdf in your Mathematica as well. And you can see a lot of formats is available in Mathematica, which you can save your notebook as. And for your IEEE submissions, you can save the same notebook in the latex format. Okay. So by using this feature, that is the compatible document format feature, the users around the globe, they have shared their work or their notebooks on a special uh, platform in the web, which is known as demonstrations.wolfram.com. So here, all the global users of Wolfram language, they are sharing their work in all the areas, and you can see a lot of we call it is a demonstration project. What we call, there are around 12,000 open interactive demonstrations available to the users. So these are the different topics where the users have shared their work. So if you go for mathematics, select mathematics, you see all the different levels of uh, mathematics here. So school mathematics, algebra, so different topics are available to you. So for example, I go to algebra, you can see different sections here. Let's say linear algebra, you get a lot of demonstrations readily available to the user. You can select any of these demonstrations, you can download it to your system, and also you would be able to visualize the same demonstrations here on the web page. You can download this demonstration, you can use it in your own notebook, you can edit the code. There you go. Very nice representation here. So it is a vector transformation and eigen vectors of 2 cross 2 matrix here. So it takes some time for the demonstrations to load depending upon your system. It is initializing here. So you can see here, it is an interactive demonstration. So you can use this work in your notebook. You can download it and you can use it in your notebook. Okay. So let's go back to the presentation. Yes. So Mathematica's uh, main application comes in numerical computing and symbolic computing. So both numerical computing and symbolic computing go hand in hand in Mathematica. So when we say numerical computing, Mathematica supports applications under linear, non-linear model fittings, interpolations, visualizing huge matrices, wavelet theories, control systems, solving differential equations, optimization problems, image processing, graph theory, machine learning, latest being the neural networks. Everything is based on numerical computing. You can see a few examples here. Here you can see a nonlinear fit here, and the example of wavelet, and you can see numerical equation solving, find global minima. So how do we bring about these visualizations, or how do we bring about numerical computation in Mathematica? So these are the numerical computations, few computations which are supported in Mathematica. For example, numerical precision calculations. So we have an n integrate function here. So this is a built-in function. So if you want to see about this function, what it does, you can just click on the function and press F1, or you can go to your any of your notebook and say help and select Wolfram documentation. So this Wolfram language and system documentation center is inbuilt in Mathematica. Here there are around 150,000 examples readily available to the users in all the all the application areas, like data manipulation, visualization, machine learning. So you can select any of these topics and you will see a list of additional topics available to you. So I'll just try to search and integrate. Just say integrate. So here you're seeing the results. So you just click on N integrate. So here you were able to see what the built-in function is made up of. So here, firstly, you see the different syntaxes of this N integrate built-in function. So what are the uh, different details and options which are available for this function? And as you see, a lot of examples are readily available to the users for using an integrate function here. So here you can edit this example, and you can evaluate this example. You can copy these examples to a different notebook and start evaluating. So you can see a lot of examples using the n-integrate function. And you also have what is the scope of this n-integrate function. You have different options like precision evaluation. So you can just select each of these sections and deep dive more into this built-in functions. There are also a few neat examples here. You can see a different uh, readily available examples to the users. And you may ask how this built-in function is programmed. What is there in this n-integrate function? Unfortunately, Mathematica is not open source, and the all the codes are highly protected. But there is an option where here you are seeing, if you go to the bottom of the page, there is an advanced numerical integration in the Wolfram language section, where you will see what exactly this numerical integration in Wolfram language does. So all the additional information is available to the users here. Okay, fine. Go back to the presentation. Let's see some example. Let's compute numerical uh, entities here. So I'm just taking the integrate example here and execute it. So you can see the numerical value of the integration is coming as a result. So let's manipulate this integrate function. Let's copy this function again into this. Have a working precision 40. I'll make it as P, and I'll give the argument P ranging from 10 to 40 in steps of 1. So precision can be varied in only in steps of 1. There you go. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking precision ranging from 10 to 40, and if you can vary and see the precision digits, it is going forward from ranging from 10 to 40. Very fast, very powerful. So you can select as many uh, precision level you want, and you can make it interactive as well. This is one of the very powerful function, which is manipulate. And yes, so how this precision is achieved in Mathematica. So Mathematica offers something called arbitrary, make it a little bigger, arbitrary precision calculations. What is this arbitrary precision calculations? Mathematica offers this feature where Mathematica will decide by itself what is the precision of the digit to be given as an output depending upon the system's resources or the memory. So, for example, I say a numerical value of pi Pi is a built-in function again in Mathematica. So I say 10. So show me the value of pi up to 10. Now I say 100. Show me the value of pi 100 digits. Yes, it gives you. Let me say 1000. First, I'm getting the output. What if I want to see a million digits in the value of pi? Yes, it gives you, because Mathematica is able to recognize the amount of system memory, and it is giving you a million digits in just uh, what I can say, in just a matter of 2 seconds. So this is one of the built-in feature of Mathematica, that is the arbitrary precision calculation. So in this way, Mathematica will finally judge how to evaluate your expressions depending upon the system memory without encountering any error or any crash of your Mathematica application. Okay. So one more special feature of what Mathematica offers is symbolic capability, which is built in into numerical computation. So whatever numerical computation you are performing, so on the back end, everything is being computed symbolically. So symbolic capability is built in into numerical computation. So how, I mean, for example, you say tan x. So everyone knows tan pi by 2 is infinity. So in other applications, if you say tan pi by 2, it might show you an error, or your applications might get hanged. So I say tan of, what if I say tan of pi by 2 here? Is it's a complex infinity value, right? So this is a very interesting feature in Mathematica, that is the built-in symbolic capability. And now, so yes, so let us move on with, we will see what are other numerical computations is achieved in Mathematica. So let us a similar, likewise we can do functions with singularities. uh, you see here it is a singularity function here. So I'll just evaluate it for a reference. Here you can see where you are finding the numerical integration value of 1 by square root of x, ranging from 0 to 1. Also you see another example for integrating the numerical value of x power 2 sine, and with precision 40, and being 20 as the maximum recursion level. And also you can do piecewise functions. You can execute piecewise functions here. So a lot of these, all these built-in examples are readily available in the documentation center, so I can go through it. So I'll take one more example here. So here you're seeing we are trying to solve a differential equation here. So it is a non-linear differential equation where initially you are setting value of y is equal to delta. Let me just maximize this graph. Yeah. So when the value of delta is minimum, you can see a sharp rise in the graph, and as you start varying the value of delta, your graph gets smoother, starts getting smoother. And you can see the number of points when you vary delta. So as the delta increases, the number of points contributing in the graph, it is also increasing. Very interactive and very fast. So you can just see we are we are plotting this solving this differential equation in just 2 lines of code. No other software will give you this flexibility to do this perform this evaluation in just 2 lines of code. Also you can see we are doing this numerical differential equation solving using a manipulate. So that's how we are able to vary this value of delta. Okay. So again, moving on. So we also can do optimization, numerical optimization, solve optimization problems here. So there are built-in functions like find minimum, find maximum in Mathematica. By using those, you can solve the optimization problem. So coming to symbolic computing, as I said, numerical computing and symbolic computing goes hand in hand in Mathematica. And symbolic computation is built in into numerical computation. So let's see some examples of symbolic computing here. So I say sine of pi by 4 is 1 by square root of 2. Say sine of pi by 5 gives square root of 5 by 8 and square root of 5 by 8 whole root of this. So this is exact computing in symbolic. What if we will see one more example? What if we want to expand? Expand is a built-in function in Mathematica. I'll expand a plus b power of 5. It is giving you the answer. A power 5 plus 5 power 4b plus and so on. Let's try to manipulate this. Uh, let's manipulate and uh, expand this expression a plus b. Just copy this inside manipulate. Instead of 5, I'll name it as k and I'll take range of k from 1 to 100 of 1. Now you see I'm varying k here and finding the expansion form of a plus b the whole square or cube or to the power of 4 up to the power of 100 being the last value. So you can see how quick it is and very powerful, very quick symbolic computing you can see here. Just in a one single line of code in Mathematica. So that's how we work along with symbolic computing Mathematica. So other symbolic computations can be done in Mathematica with respect to limits, derivatives, integrals. We can solve differential equation. So ND solve is for numerical differential solving. This is for solving symbolic differential equations. D solve. Also, we can do symbolic optimizations using built-in functions like minimize and maximize. And also, in the documentation center, if you say special functions, when you search for special functions, there are a lot of added functions available in Mathematica. So I say special functions. You can see with respect to each categories, for if you are working with error functions or Bessel or Legendre or elliptic integrals. So these are all the additional functions which keeps on getting added in every new release of Mathematica. So there are around 200 plus additional functions which is added in the latest version. So you can go through as this special functions in the documentation center. Okay. So that was about numerical and symbolic computing in Mathematica. So let's move on to the next feature of Mathematica, that is visualization. This is a very strong uh, feature of Mathematica. So using built-in functions in Mathematica, you can render two-dimensional plots, three-dimensional plots. You can do chartings. You can do statistical visualizations. Let's see a few examples of these. let's go back to the documentation center. I will search for plot function. Here you can see, so what plot does is it gives you a simple graph. So if you want to see other plot functions, so you can just go to visualization, you can select function visualization. So here you are seeing a lot of built-in functions for different kind of plots. So for example, plot 3D. So this is syntax, and you see a lot of built-in examples available here. So here you are plotting a sine graph in three-dimensional view, and you can also look at this graph in all the axes. That is, you can rotate this graph 360 degrees, and also you can change the size of this graph. So it is a very dynamic visualization which is achieved here for the users. So let's see some more examples of visualization. So for example, contour plot. The contour plot is nothing but you're plotting a surface on a two dimension. So here are a few examples here for contour plots. Lot of examples available. Also, you can plot a parametric plot. The parametric plot here where x and y depends on the third coordinate. So even this you can represent it in Mathematica. You can visualize it in Mathematica. Also, these contour plots and parametric plots can be also visualized in a three dimension. Here you're seeing I'm plotting this expression. You can, you're getting a beautiful representation of this expression, and similar likewise I said, this can be rotated in any axis and can be visualized. Also, you can customize this graph, you can expand this graph, very flexible. Okay. So the other form of visualizations which can be achieved here is region plot, where you're plotting regions, different regions like for inequality or combinations of inequality, and yes, so you can do complex plottings in 2D and 3D as well. And you can do discrete plottings, you can do vector plotting, and also you see a lot of customizations can be done with these visualizations. Like you can change the colors of each expression or the value here, and you can make it as a continuous wave or a dotted wave. You can make it as a plain rendering, and you can change the color, you can change the colors of these graphs, the background of this graph. Very customizable. One, just give me 1 second. Sorry for that. There was some noise in the background, so I had to go on mute. Okay, let's continue seeing more features in the visualization section of Mathematica. So let me go to the documentation center. So also, along with plotting two-dimensional and three-dimensional representations, you can do a lot of chartings, uh, design charts using Mathematica. So these are the different charts you can render in Mathematica, like bar chart, pie chart, bubble chart, sector charts. So I'll just show you a few examples. So you can see a two-dimensional bar chart here. So you can represent the same in also in three dimension. You can see beautiful bar charts in three-dimensional representation. So all these you can use these visualizations to make a very attractive presentation for your projects and for your academic submissions. So along with charts, you can there is a built-in function for histogram as well. So I'll just go inside this histogram function. So here you are rendering a graph for the normal distribution values. So you can see different type of renderings being offered from the histogram function. Similarly, you can do data visualization uh, like list plot, list line plot, list dot plot. So you can plot your data in the form of a line or in the form of a series of dots. You can make it a three-dimension as well, and you can also you have a lot of built-in functions with respect to all different users from various platforms. Yes, so you can label and use the legends for these visualizations under charting, histogram, and yes. So fine, let's go back to the presentation. So you can see here, Mathematica has the largest collection of parametric distributions compared to other competitive tools in the market. So this is just uh, uh, the graph which is giving you around 151 collection in the version 10.4, which was quite a bit earlier. So I want to show you this uh, picture where how largely Mathematica contains uh, the parametric distribution packages. So here what you are seeing, which is written in red, all these packages, the collection is available in Mathematica compared to other tools which is available to the users. So all these which are marked in red are included in Mathematica. So it is a one single huge package which has all the modules and readily available. So for if you're going with other competitive tools, you need to keep on buying add-ons for every for every module. So most of the tools, even for most of them are based on numerical analysis. For going with symbolic computing, you need to buy add-on packages for other tools. But Mathematica, what is there? Both are readily available, and they both go in hand to hand very well. So where Mathematica is very powerful in both numerical and symbolic computing. No other tool in the globe can outperform Mathematica under symbolic computing. So let's go into an interesting topic, which is image processing. So image processing, you can see here, I'm just showing an example. I'm taking this image, which is readily available, and you can see this image. I'll try to zoom in for better visibility. So I'm sharpening this image. Hope you can see the difference. So this image processing is being processed at a very high rate. Also, you can take the same image and do other image processing, uh, use other image processing functions like I want to blur this image. So I just copy this image here. You can see a blurred vision now of this image. So to make it more interesting, I will use a function called current image, which will take a live picture of me on the webcam, which is there on my system. What you can do here now is we have a function, one more image processing function called edge detect. Let me take the same image. Okay, let me take a new image, present image. You can see here it is capturing an image and it is rendering only the edges of this image. So it's a very fast processing being done on the back end. This is just a static image edge detection, what you're seeing. Let's make it dynamic. So copy this. See dynamic cut rate detect. So now you're seeing a live image processing being done in the back end. So it is capturing live images on the webcam in my system. It is detecting the edges. You can see my hand here is going from left to right. So all the edges are being detected. Yes, so very fast image processing which is achieved here using Mathematica. So here is one more example. This is already evaluated. Let me just close the result. I will show you once again how to evaluate this. So there are two images here. So there are two different images of moon. And what we are doing here is we're trying to visualize the matching points on the moon in two different images. Evaluated. Yes. So now we have an output. You can see the position of this moon. This is the point 14 is here in this image, and you can see the moon is slightly rotated with more degrees, and the point has gone here. So these points are being able to recognized in this image using this image processing function. Very flexible options available to the users um, uh, for under image processing. So also you can do wavelet computations for solving wavelet graphs. So you see different wavelet families you can work around using Mathematica. So these are all the different wavelets you can plot. And so here you are seeing an example where we are removing one of the two overlapping signals. So I'll just run this. You can see a nice representation here. So the overlappings is being removed from one of two. These are all readily available in Mathematica for doing image processing. Right. So Mathematica not only supports all platforms which were earlier available to the users, and even now everything is being still used. There are upcoming and new technologies under machine learning, neural networks, uh, geometric computing. So all the latest technologies are being supported in Mathematica. So for example, in machine learning, just go to the documentation center. So you can see a separate section here for see what we can achieve in Mathematica in the machine learning section. So it will give you an overview here. So these two are the main functions which are used in machine learning in Mathematica, that is classify and predict. So if you click on classify, so what this classify does is have a lot of examples here. So I'll show you one neat example. Go to the top. I'll just come back to the presentation. I would have it have the example here. Yes. So one of the latest machine learning algorithm the users use is handwritten recognition. So using these handwritten digits of the users, so these are nothing but, so if you can see here, it is a 2 handwritten digit 2. This is nothing just but an image in the form of pixels. Let me just image it again. So here, these images are being classified according to their representation. So this is the initial, the representation which is being given inside the classify function. And when I call these images here, so you see for 0 for this image, so Mathematica is giving you the result as 0, and similarly 1 2 3 4 5 6. So all these handwritten digits are being recognized using Mathematica. So what if there is an image, for example this, so this looks like 4 and as well as 6. So it is also gives you the probability of this image. So you see 4, it is giving you a probability it can be 0.48%. So this, so it can be also 6, and also it looks like 0 for few users. So it might be 9, or I mean it might be a 0 also. So it is saying 0.19 percentage, it can be a 0 as well. There's one more nice example to use classify. So we are giving different images of a day and night, and we are classifying it. And when you call these images, it gives you what time of the day it is, whether it is a day or it is a night. So very, very powerful functions are available under machine learning. I think we are almost 1 hour past. So let me quickly go through the remaining topics. I'll try to cover it as soon as possible. So there are a lot of neural function networks, geometric computing, real world data. I'll just speak about this in the end of the session about real world data access. So you can search these technologies or technicalities on the documentation center. You will get all the built-in functions available, and the associated examples as well. So the latest version, Mathematica 12.2, which is termed as 12, being a major number. So these are all the areas which is supported in Mathematica, like symbolic, numeric computation, visualization, graphics, geometry, data science, computation, image and audio processing. You can import audio files, video files. You can do image processing, video processing. You can link external databases. So and there is a knowledge base uh, available from Wolfram, which is Wolfram Alpha. So I'll speak about it in the next slide. So what is there in the latest version of 12.2? There are around 240 new symbols which are added, and there are 2 new domains available to the users, which is spatial statistics, widely used in environmental studies and other sectors. There is biosequences module available now, and also a few UI improvements. So in Mathematica, you can do parallel computing as well. You can parallelize your code to finish your uh, executing your program in a very much using in a limited timeline. So there is a built-in function called parallelize, which you can use to make your code run in parallel on the available resources on your system. So if you're having a graphics processing unit on your system or device on your system, Mathematica supports CUDA and OpenCL applications language, which are widely uh, applicable in these areas. So using the GPU resources, Mathematica can run more faster. It can parallelize your application and finish the work in a very less time. So for programmers, Mathematica gives the flexibility where you can, for example, this is a factorial function. which you can write it in 15 different ways in Mathematica. So Mathematica is a multi-paradigm language. So yes, so moving on. Also, you can convert your Mathematica code into a C code for standalone execution. You can integrate your Mathematica with C code, R, and you can integrate with link your databases. You can link DLLs if you're having standalone system to execute standalone projects. And also you have an IDE, which is a Wolfram Workbench, which provides you the ability to debug your mathematical code as well. Okay, so I was telling you about parallel computation. So we have a something called Grid Mathematica, which can be used on clusters and high performance computing servers. What this Grid Mathematica does is it will give you access to a pool of at least 16 computing kernels, which is available in a network on the hardware. So if a group of Mathematica users are in the same network, a single user can get access to all these 16 computing kernels, which are available on the other hardware as well. So very highly highlighted feature of Mathematica here. So this Grid Mathematica, it is a separate license. It is an add-on for your Mathematica package. And Mathematica Online, it is a standalone product coming from Wolfram Stack. So here, without installation of Mathematica on your system, using a web browser or a mobile or a tab, you can compute in Mathematica. So you just need to log in to your Wolfram account and start programming on the cloud. So you can create a new notebook, import your old notebooks. You can upload it on the cloud. You can access it in the Mathematica Online, and there is no need of Mathematica setup at all to do the computations. So you're just seeing the screenshots how the Mathematica Online dashboard looks like. Okay, so we have a product called System Modeler, which is widely used for modeling and simulation in the different industries and also in academic. So we can design using System Modeler, and you can control the simulations with Mathematica. As I said, the Wolfram language is a common language for all the Wolfram stack. So you can design in System Modeler and control the simulation from Mathematica. So you can integrate these products, System Modeler and Mathematica, and you can do this modeling and simulation. I'll just go to the next slides. So this is something interesting. Everyone knows Siri. So Siri is the personal assistant in an iPhone. So whenever you ask a query to the Siri, you get a answer quickly on your phone. How exactly? So every query is being answered by the Wolfram Alpha, which is in the which is located in the Wolfram cloud. The data. So, for example, when you are asking what is the gravity on Earth, so this message is being passed to the Wolfram cloud using Wolfram Alpha technology, and the result is being rendered on your screen, and it is powered by Wolfram Alpha in the backend. So you can see this Wolfram Alpha logo here. So if you have an iPhone, you can check it. So very advanced technology. So every user or every company is moving to the cloud in the coming days. So these are all the features which will be more evolved with the users in coming days. So Wolfram Alpha, as I was saying, it is a knowledge engine where trillions of data is being collected, curated, and being uploaded to the Wolfram cloud by the Wolfram team. So these data are readily available to the users inside Mathematica. So Stephen Wolfram's his plan was to make the users have all the data readily available to them in the real world. So these data contains data of plants, animals, financial data, geographical data. So all the data, all kinds of data, chemical compounds, the mathematical laws. So everything is present in the Wolfram Cloud. It's like an encyclopedia. So just you have to do is so in a mathematical notebook, you can call Wolfram Alpha using by pressing double is equal to. So this uh, star is equal to inside a star, a Wolfram logo. This represents a Wolfram Alpha query. So you can just ask what is the temperature in Coimbatore city today. So what happens here is this query is being passed to the Wolfram cloud using the Wolfram Alpha technology, and now you can see a complete detailed information of your city. So what is the temperature today? It is ranging from 79 to 80 degree Fahrenheit presently, and also you can see additional information. uh, so what is the position? So you get additional information which is being broadcasted on your notebook using the Wolfram Alpha technology. So this Wolfram Alpha is also available to the all the users on the web. You can just say wolframalpha.com. Go there, you will see a search bar. So here is it is a single line query you can give. It can be a query related to any entity. You just say 2 plus 2, it gives you the answer, or you can compute on this. See, you can see 2 plus 2 is 4. You can ask anything on Wolfram Alpha. It give you all the information, relevant information. So user has access to real world data at any point of time. So earlier Wolfram Alpha was a separate package, but now Mathematica, Wolfram Alpha is all integrated inside Mathematica with the latest version. Okay. So let's close this. Let me go back to my presentation. Yes. Okay. So there are a lot of resources readily available to the users, Mathematica users. So I showed you the documentation center, which is built in Mathematica, where you can find all the built-in functions and other additional relevant information. This documentation center is also available on the web. Say reference.wolfram.com. So you get the same documentation center here. So whoever does not have Wolfram software, that is Mathematica, they can come here and see what all uh, functions or features are available. And also we have a lot of uh, readily available resources for learning and education. So we have a Wolfram U, which is a Wolfram, we call it as Wolfram University. So here it is, there are a lot of open courses, webinars, and quizzes, puzzles for students and professionals who would be interested to deep dive into Mathematica. So you can see a lot of topics here, latest being data science, machine learning. So a lot of recorded webinars, quizzes, puzzles, and uh, uh, objective type questions, which is more, gives you more insights into Mathematica. And I showed you about the demonstrations project in on the web. So that is demonstrations.wolfram.com, where around uh, 12,000 open demonstrations, interactive demonstrations are available to the users in all the platforms. And we have a program called Wolfram Stack Exchange, where the users around the globe can share their experiences, their work, or their notebooks, and interact with other users located in the other geographical locations. they can discuss about something similar applications they are working on. If they are facing any challenges and they want to get some help, so they can always come to the Stack Exchange program and share their experiences here. So it is a community where all the Wolfram language users would like to come in and share their experiences.